Hello, good morning. My name is Dr. Catherine Greenfield, PhD, which is a plastological science doctorate. I've successfully arrived in 2019 and have begun conducting my plastological research study. It took me a bit to learn the smartphone and laptop technologies of this age. I took rather easily to photography and the medium of Instagram, and also the website design of Wix.com. But it's been much more challenging to learn the medium of video. My intent is for these videos to serve as both an educational resource to people in the future about the past, and vice versa, for the people in 2019 to learn about the world of the future.
Muscles.
Thus, I will move between discussing important findings for an audience of my colleagues
Not those ones.
in 2100, and when necessitated, an explanation of the context for those findings to those who live in one time or the other. So for those of you watching this in 2019, plastology is a future scientific research field. It is the science and study of plastogens of the past, their uses and sites of contact in order to better understand our plastic planet's climatic and ecological challenges in 2100. My own current research is part of a larger comprehensive study of the sites of contact with plastogens throughout multiple decades, dating back at least 200 years from the year 2100. This multidimensional research project is being conducted by time-traveling researchers like myself from the Real Institute of Plastological Sciences, also known as RIPS. RIPS was founded in 2065, just 3 years before my own birth. So plastology is still a relatively new and developing field in 2100. By then, much of the world is covered in plastic. Our weather is extremely volatile, so we live predominantly underground. We grow what food we can inside our underground bunkers in the plastic earth soil. What canned food we have is highly rationed. Much of the organic matter in our food, air, water, and soil is either evenly mixed with or comprised mostly of synthetic microparticles of plastic and other pollutants. On a good day above ground, our air is plagued by plastic dust, and on a bad day, by plastinados. Plastinados and plastnomies are becoming more and more common. As such, in 2100, it is rare to find intact plastogens because time and weather events have broken them down into the tiny little pieces that make up much of our soil, air, and water. At RIPS, we've heard of some possible locations of large plastic objects and mostly intact appliances of the past. But we cannot go to explore these regions due to nearly constant extreme weather events. So it is crucial to our plastological research that we time travel in order to study plastogens in their past habitats, their sites of acquisition, and the places they ended up after disposal, before much of the world became plastic. Unfortunately, in 2030, the people who knew the most about the origin of plastogen pollution and the evolution of our hostile climate have left Earth to spread their knowledge, wealth, and resources to other planets. We call them the creators. There is a myth that at one time they were referred to as the job creators, but that was when more people had jobs and less people lived underground. Fortunately, the creators abandoned several plast time machines. RIPS plastologists were able to restore them and send a few of their top researchers, like myself, back in time to try to better understand the origin of our climate and ecology in 2100. I've already begun documenting my experiences and interactions with plastogens through photography and video. I've launched a website for my research, which you can find at www.plastology2100.com, as well as an Instagram account to help catalog my research findings immediately in the field. You can find that at Plastology2100. I'm also inviting the people of 2019 to participate in my study by sending their own plastogen findings and photos to me at plastology2100@gmail.com. Send me a photo of your plastogen right where you found it, include the acquisition story for context, and we will post it as part of our research study. For those of you watching this in 2100, the first observation I will make is that the weather in 2019 is quite beautiful. We don't ever use that word to describe our weather in 2100, but I have a roommate here who refers to a calm and sunny day as beautiful and a light, rainy day as gross. As compared to my experiences in 2100, I would now conclude that both types of these days are beautiful, as we have virtually neither. It's also very pleasant to have plentiful running water and fresh food. I'm still getting settled in and used to this new way of living. Such convenience. But it will be much easier to conduct my research in these conditions. Yada yada, something about birds chirping and flowers, which I only heard about in the elder poems. And lastly, one thing I can firmly report is that intact plastogems are everywhere in 2019. Everything comes in an intact plastogem, virtually all food and household products, and a great many other things. I have already documented some very interesting street and restaurant findings. I'm still learning the concept of restaurants and streets. These are things the elders speak of in 2100, but things I had not yet experienced myself until now. My roommate is teaching me a lot of new words and concepts and taking me to a lot of different places. Next, we are going to the beach to document plastogem findings there. It will be an exciting luxury to be able to see a calm beach without high waves and plasmomies. I'm trying to remain objective in my research, but my anticipation of this experience is a little overwhelming. So I'm going to go collect myself and prepare for this serious and potentially exhausting day of research. Until then, this is Dr. Catherine Greenfield in Portland, Maine, 2019, signing off. This is my first bath ever.